Hello to everyone. This is a video in which I will show you how I crochet my Opal granny square blanket. Just a quick tutorial, not actually a tutorial, just a description or a talk of how I do it. So the yarns I'm using is all Opal yarns. Opal sock yarns, yes, one or two of my still quite new balls, not new but not used. I did take a little bit out of each of them to add to the blanket, just to mix with the leftovers I had, but I will now keep them aside first to knit socks out of, and then what's left I can again add to the blanket. The joining color I'm using is this light gray. Color is 5193. And I've joined 56 squares up to now, and I've still got almost 40 grams left of this 100-gram ball. So you can get quite far with this yarn as a joining yarn. And this light gray is just a color that I feel that match quite well with the squares. So I'm using a 2.75 tulip crochet hook. Tulip is my absolute favorite crochet hooks. They are imported by Colors of Amalfi, and there's quite a few stores that stock them. Or you can buy directly from Colors of Amalfi. So it's a 5-round granny square. I do not do a chain space between my clusters, and I do 2 chains in the corners. I do not turn when I'm doing these squares because I don't want to disrupt the flow of the colors in the yarn. So if you go one direction and turn and go in the other direction, I think the color flow of the beautiful color flow in the yarn will be distorted. So they are a little bit skew, but I think for a small 5-round granny, that's not that big of an issue. They measure about 7.5 centimeters. I find that some of the yarns are a little bit thinner. Some of the newer ones, especially, for example, this one, I find it a little bit softer and thinner when I crochet with it than, for example, some of the older yarns. I don't think you get the safari anymore. I think that's also a discontinued range. And this is also still, I think, a little bit one of the thicker ones. But the yarns, the Opal yarns, they are a bit different, the newer ranges. So I find that the thinner yarns measure about 7 centimeters, and the thicker, older ones about 7.5 centimeters. But I'm not going to change my needle size. I suppose you can, but I'm not going to do that. And it doesn't look like it's much of an issue when I join them. So my favorite joining method is the PLT join. And Rachel from Cypresstextiles has very good tutorials that shows how to do the PLT join, that stands for pull loop through. And she also shows you how you can do it continuously. So I'm doing a round in the gray. I'm doing a round of just plain solid double crochets. And then I join as I go. And in the beginning, I joined each square and cut the yarn, but I decided now to join one whole strip or row of grannies in a continuous way, come back, and then cut the yarn. I can still leave the grey attached and then continuously joining them. But because I'm crocheting some grannies and then I join and then I crochet some grannies and then I join, I decided to join row by row, but you can do it continuously without cutting the yarn. I've only got 7 squares in the width at the moment and 8 rows joined. It's difficult to get it all in. I will see later on when I don't want to make it too wide and then I run out of yarns, or I don't want to make it so big. So I can always add rows on the side to make it wider, but I've only got 8 rows, so I will still add 1 or 2 rows of 7 and then maybe add some more to the width. But this blanket will now go into hibernation just because I've used all my scraps and I've used some out of the full balls to just distribute the old colors evenly between them so that they are not all like blue ones next to each other. But I will now put it into hibernation, and then whenever I've knitted socks, I can crochet squares with what is left. This pretty stitch marker was a gift from Be Inspired when we were at the yarn retreat in March in Noordhoek, in Cape Province. So I quickly want to show you what I do. So I start here and I join my grey and I crochet with a chain 1 PLT join where you pull the loop through. So you take the loop out, off, you take your hook out of the loop and you put your hook in from the top and pull the loop through. So then I did a chain 1, join, chain 1, and then I do 2 double crochets, join, 3 double crochets, join, 3, join, 3, join, all the way, 2 in the corner, chain 1, and I join to the adjacent square, to the one next to it. I join there, and then I continue down this side. Then I do a chain 1, 2 double crochet in the corner, join, 3, join, 3, join, all the way up. And then here I take my hook out of the loop, put it through the adjacent square, the one next to it. From there, pull the loop through, and while I'm keeping the loop on my hook, I join into that corner as well, and then I continue to join this side. So there's always a chain 1, join, and then a chain 1 again, and I join all the way up to here, join in the one that I'm attaching to, and continue down the side. So that is how I do. So I'm not sure if it's exactly like Rochelle shows in her tutorials, but I'm too lazy to go and watch it every time. So this is just how I figured out to do it for this specific blanket. And it makes quite a nice and a neat little corner. I've got a visitor here that is making a shadow, as always. She knows so well when I'm trying to do a video. So when I've completed the whole row, So there is the little helper and the photobomber. She's a professional photobomber. So when I've done the whole row, then I join in the last corner, come down the side, do this corner, and then I just complete the row, just complete the sides that has not got any double crochets yet. So I do my 2 double crochets in the corner, chain 1, and I do a slip stitch here where I started joining the square. Just in that last space, I do a slip stitch, chain 1, do my 2 double crochets in the corner, and continue on with this side up to the end, all the way I go through, chain 1, slip, chain 1, corner, and then up to there, and then I join again. So that is how I do the continuous joining of my Opal Granny Square blanket. Thank you so much for watching, and please ask if there's anything you want to know in the comments below. Goodbye.